Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're diving into the world of Dozacrew.
Yeah, it's quite a world.
We've got these YouTube transcripts, actually from the DOZACREW channel itself, their own deep dives into their stuff.
Right, so it's a bit meta, analyzing the analysis.
Exactly. Our mission, basically, is to pull all that together, synthesize it, really get under the skin of Dozacrew's music.
Understand their style, the themes that keep popping up.
Lyrically, sonically, a whole experience, really.
And it is an experience. They definitely push boundaries.
Oh, absolutely. Prepare to have your expectations messed with a bit.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that jumps out from these analyses is how they just refuse to be boxed in.
Totally.
Their German rap thing is really just like a launch pad.
Right.
They pull in metal, folk, pop, electronic sounds, industrial. It's not just bending genres.
It's more like ignoring them.
Kind of genre obliterating, like you said.
Okay, so this genre obliteration.
Yeah.
The Greets analysis mentions dissonance, weird time signatures. It feels intentional, right? Like they're aiming for this unsettling quality.
I think so. It creates friction.
But why? Is it just to be different? Or is there something more to that unsettling vibe?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think it's just for show. It probably ties into that alien identity they talk about in the Greets Die.
Alien? Like literally?
No, more like outsiders. Creating something that doesn't quite compute with, standard musical language.
Ah, okay.
That dissonance, those rhythms.
Yeah.
Maybe it's their way of saying, hey, we're over here on a different wavelength.
Sonically, thematically.
Yeah, listen.
The whole package.
Exactly.
And it's not just the sound, is it?
Yeah.
The language, too. The Hortz analysis mentions invented words.
Oh, yeah. That Hertz BLT thing.
And hers talks about super dense, layered lyrics. Then GRD gets into wordplay. It's a lot.
It really is. It feels like they're trying to break free from normal language constraints.
To make new meanings. New textures.
Maybe the invented words, the dense stuff, it can feel overwhelming. Like the kaleidoscopy analysis says, sometimes it seems like nonsense. But maybe that's the point, to make you engage differently. Listen to the sound of the words, the rhythm, not just the dictionary meaning.
Like their own private language, almost.
Sort of, yeah. A Dozacrew dialect.
Okay, that alien concept from Greets is sticking with me. This deliberate otherness.
It's intriguing, right?
But if it's meant to be, like, beyond easy comprehension,
Yeah.
how do they connect with listeners? What's the bridge?
See, that's the interesting part. While the sound and words can be challenging, the themes that keep coming up in the transcripts, that's where connection might happen.
Okay, like what?
Power and control, that's a big one.
Right, I saw that. Huppenset and the Spotlight 0824 dive both mention political satire, dictators, that sort of thing.
Yep. Huppenset, the track, is a great example. They seem to be engaging directly with, real-world power stuff.
But it's not just politics, is it?
No, definitely not. The Spotlight 0824 and GRD analyses bring up the psychological side, the subconscious, like the Sandman character.
Ah, the Sandman, okay.
And even airplane and radio, mentioned in the Huppenset context, seems to hint at the dangers of power more broadly.
There's a running theme, who has power, how it's used, the consequences, internally, externally.
Exactly. From dictators to your own subconscious, it's woven through their work.
Interesting. Okay, so power dynamics.
Yeah.
What else keeps cropping up?
Well, there's a lot of darkness, hardship. You see it in the analyses for Very was lang de Nacht, Dusserul.
So lyrically, it can be quite bleak. Lots of struggle, night imagery.
Yeah, and this is important, it's often paired with resilience, defiance.
Ah, okay, so it's not just despair.
Not at all. The Dusterduel and Katzengold discussions point that out, finding strength in the struggle.
Like pushing back against the darkness.
Precisely. And that resilience often connects to ideas of community, belonging.
How?
The BKRDN Platt analysis talks about the gang, the local pub, these small groups offering support.
Micro-communities.
Right. And even the idea of a fan base forming around this really unique music that's mentioned in Greets and Klang der Nacht. It suggests a need for connection, for finding your people.
Even if the music itself feels alienating initially.
Yeah. But they're not naive about it. The Huppenset analysis hints they're aware of the potential downsides of group identity, too.
Right. It's not always positive. Good point.
Oh,
It's complex.
airy.
What about the setting? Does the environment play a big role?
Oh, definitely the city. Especially the city at night. Klang der Nacht, BKRDN Platt. The analyses show how the urban landscape, its energy, its anxieties, It's a huge backdrop, a source of inspiration.
Like the city's pulse feeds into their music, the good and the bad.
I think that's a great way to put it. It provides the raw material.
Gotcha. And amidst all this, sometimes aggressive sound.
Yeah.
Are there softer moments?
Yes, absolutely. Despite the dominant tone you sometimes get, the transcripts do point out introspective bits. Vulnerability.
Where do we see that?
The analyses of Klang der Nacht, Where We Wows, Airplane, and Radio all mention these more personal, maybe revealing glimpses.
So it adds depth. It's not just a wall of sound or aggression.
Exactly. There's humanity under the surface.
Okay, so those are some big themes.
Yeah.
What about specific sonic things, signatures that mark their sound?
Well, the Klang der Nacht analysis mentions the O call.
The oh.
Yeah, this kind of vocal signature, they use it in different ways for energy to set a mood. It's like their tag.
Sonic fingerprint, instantly doza crew.
Pretty much. And repetition, too.
How do they use repetition?
The Where We Wowas and Malzeitkuila analyses highlight it. It's not just for emphasis. It can be hypnotic. Or it can build this feeling of being overwhelmed, which kind of mirrors the intensity of their music sometimes.
So it serves different functions, mood, theme, intensity.
Yeah. And we shouldn't forget humor and absurdity.
Right, that comes up too.
Orts, Kaleidoscopy, the Doza Project's leak, they all show this playful side. Experimentation, embracing the nonsensical.
It breaks the tension, challenges expectations.
Both, I think. It injects levity, but it also keeps you guessing. That mix of serious and absurd is, well, very them.
It's unpredictable. Engaging.
Yeah. And that blurring of lines carries over into their stories, their narratives.
How so?
The GRD analysis talks about the fuzzy line between reality and fiction. Characters like Florian, are they real? Are they personas? And the worlds they build, like Tomania in Huppenset, or that whole rhubarb thing.
Rhubarb.
Yeah, rhubarb barber battle or art raps. It's like they're creating these whole fictional universes that overlap with the music.
Building their own mythology.
Kind of feels that way. And often, as GRD points out, the stories are left open. They don't wrap everything up neatly.
Leaving interpretation up to the listener.
Very much so. They give you the pieces, you figure out the picture.
So you're not just listening, you're actively participating in making sense of it all.
Exactly. And the deep dives give us great specific examples, like Timon Tide from the Hippenset analysis.
What's that one like?
Apparently it's got everything. Theatricality, chaos, German-English lyrics, satire, politics, all crammed in.
Sounds like peak doza crow in one song.
Could be. And the analysis of Hippenset itself, the track, notes its hard rock sound but still melodic, the darker themes, hints of nationalism maybe, characters reappearing.
So songs build on each other, part of a bigger picture.
It seems that way, yeah, creating this complex tapestry.
Okay.
But then you get Airplane and Radio, also from the Hippenset dive, and it's totally different. Dreamy, meditative almost.
Showing their range.
Absolutely. Exploring power, connection, technology in a completely different sonic space, yet it still sounds like them.
That's the trick, isn't it? Variety, but a core identity.
For sure. Then BKRD and Platt, the analysis focuses on its local feel, community, low German dialect.
Grounding their sometimes abstract themes in a real place.
Exactly. The hardship, but also the light found in that specific urban setting adds another layer.
Makes sense.
And Kaleidoscopy, its deep dive talks about just the sheer volume of words, creating atmosphere through density, challenging you to find meaning in apparent chaos.
Like being hit by a wave of language.
Pretty much. Then Where We Wowas, its analysis goes into the darker, introspective stuff, inner turmoil, mental struggle, the intensity of the vocals.
Sounds raw, more personal.
It seems so. And Hortz, that analysis really zooms in on the language experiments, invented words, complex rhymes, the fast flow, the absurdity.
That's where they really let loose linguistically.
It feels like it, pushing the boundaries of rap itself.
Okay, what about live stuff?
The Klang der Nacht deep dives cover live and studio versions. They talk about the energy, the dominance, the speed, but also vulnerability and that connection with the crowd.
So the intensity translates live, but maybe with more shared feeling.
Seems like it. And Malzeitkuila. Those analyses are interesting. Found audio, repetition, distortion, anonymity.
Yeah.
Challenging what music even is, what art is. It sounds quite conceptual.
Definitely thought-provoking.
And lastly, the Doza Project's leaks stuff. That gives a peek behind the scenes, the process. Unconventional sounds, motifs popping up again, the line between making something and the final thing being blurred.
Like seeing the sketches before the painting.
Yeah, something like that, seeing the messy, experimental bits.
So after all this,
Yeah.
it really feels like the meaning isn't fixed, is it?
Not at all. The GRD and Project's leak analyses really drive that home. It's up to you, the listener.
It's about the journey, not finding the right answer.
Exactly. The Horts and Klang der Nacht dives encourage you to connect with the feel, the ideas, even if you don't catch every single word. It's the whole sensory intellectual package.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this meta deep dive up.
Yeah.
We've seen Doza Crew blending all these sounds, using language in really inventive, sometimes baffling ways, exploring big themes, power, darkness, community, introspection, with this unique mix of aggression, vulnerability, and often dark humor.
And crucially, they don't hand you the answers. They invite you in to figure it out, to participate.
Yeah, they thrive on defying expectations, musically, lyrically. It's this tapestry of politics, personal stuff, city life, absurdity.
And you, the listener, you're not just sitting back. You're an active explorer in this world they've built.
So here's a final thought then for you listening. Considering everything we've touched on, this huge range of styles and themes, what single thing do you think really defines the Doza Crew experience?
That's a tough one.
It is. Something to chew on as you maybe go listen or re-listen with all this in mind. Think about how they challenge your ideas about what music can do.
Yeah, how they push perceptions.
Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
My pleasure.